gotten rid of the termites. We're ready to put floorboards on.
G'day guys, welcome to the final episode of the Box Hill Makeover. Now previously, we dressed up the side yard with some new gravel and we hinted and teased at the new floors. So in this episode, we're gonna reveal it all, show you everything we've done and give you a couple of tours inside and out. We're going to kick off the tour in this front living area. Now this is an extension. I did mention that in previous episodes. The floors are two different types of wood. And I also mentioned that when they get sanded, they would be much different in color and that the owners didn't want to color match. Now, since saying that, they did decide to color match, and you may have seen that in the previous episode when we did a few sneak peeks at the floors. So it's good to see that the color match has turned up pretty good considering how different the timbers are. With that in mind, we didn't really do too much in this area, or we didn't touch the kitchen. It has been painted in here. We've put new blinds and things like that in and just given it a bit of a clean up. So we're moving into the front entry main hallway area. This is where a lot of the work that I did happened. We had the floorboards to repair. We had a big crack in the wall here that has been fixed, and we've also supported the wall with a stump. So it's good to see no more cracks, fresh paint, fresh floorboards. As we move down the hallway, we're coming up to the laundry, which we had to repair. There was some termite damage. There was also water damage in this room. The water damage was to the plaster and to some of the subflooring. Now, some of the subflooring was actually made out of melamine chipboard, which is more suited to making cabinets. And as soon as that had water in it, it just completely disintegrated and the tiles were falling through the floor. So the laundry is now not an issue. We've fixed that properly, gotten rid of the water damage, retiled, no more termite damage, and that is pretty much it for that. So the last thing I want to mention is this bathroom that we've come up to. We didn't do anything in here other than replace the ceiling. The ceiling was a little bit moldy, so we pulled that down, threw a new ceiling up, and we put an exhaust fan in, and it's happy days. So the only other things that have happened in this part of the house, which we never filmed any establishing shots or before shots, because only thing that's happened back here is paint, and with the rooms with floorboards, they've been polished. So that's it for this end of the house. If you want to follow me back down the hallway, just like you might follow me on Instagram or Facebook or subscribe on YouTube, if you could do that, it goes a really long way to helping me out and supporting the channel. Now we're in this main living area. This has also had an extension or two in its time. You can tell that by the remaining beam, and you can tell that by the window we mentioned in a different episode. So there's a window here that may have gone from outside to inside at one point, but now it's just stuck in the middle of the house. This room is a bit of a bits and pieces room. As I mentioned with these extensions, it's also the room that had the most damage in it as far as termite damage. The floorboards were basically paper thin. The only thing left was the polyurethane on top. There are a couple of joists that we had to replace, and some of the skirting boards and architraves that needed replacing as well because we found live termites in there. Some other things that happen in here that I haven't filmed are the curtains and roller blinds. Like I said earlier, the old curtains were taken down and roller blinds have been put in, and it's just brought this house back into current times instead of being stuck in the past with those old drapes. And yeah, it's been given a good clean up, a good paint. Floorboards are done. It's just looking amazing in here. So it's ready for someone to move in. And now with that said, I'll put my shoes on, we'll jump outside, show you all the work and the transformation that's happened out there. All right, we're outside now. Obviously, there's a bit of noise happening. Hopefully it's not too bad. But I just want to show you everything we've done out here, all throughout the backyard, side yard, front yard. Starting off with this side yard, it was completely overgrown. As I said at the beginning of this series, no one's lived in this house for over a year. So all the growth that was happening in here, we had bushes turning into trees, all kinds of nonsense. We cleaned it up, we put our weed mat down, some new gravel, and we actually uncovered a concrete path here that we're standing on, which just disappeared into the overgrowth. So we retained it with a few bricks, put our gravel in. We've revealed this concrete path again, so nothing wrong with reusing that. Coming into the backyard now, this is where the shed used to be. We demolished that, there was no need for it. One, because there's already a garage here, and two, the floor was completely ruined, also with termites, so we just demolished it. Now in this part of the backyard, there was some kind of timber screening and a gate, and I don't know what it was there for, whether there was a pool or a spa or something. It had been there for so long, it was all falling apart, so considering it had no value anymore, we got rid of that, which has also gone a long way, along with demolishing the shed, has gone a long way to making the backyard feel a lot bigger and a lot neater. So moving this way towards the carport, getting closer to the front of the house, there was some overgrowth here on the trees, which was also causing problems for the fascia, the gutters and the eaves, along with some leaking gutters, irrespective of the trees. There was a lot of damage that had been caused to the fascia, which is one big element of the repair work here. Now with that fascia damage, some of the eaves had fallen down and some of them needed to be removed anyway, just so that we could replace the fascia because they were made of asbestos. So we replaced our fascias where we needed to, put our new eave linings in with some modern cement sheet and fix the gutters to stop any leaks. And with all that done, we could paint, and it's come up $1 million. We've painted the carport, even though there wasn't much rot happening underneath this screen. The underside of the roofing, it's all been painted white. It's looking way better. I can't believe how much of a difference painting that white has made. And that brings us to the gate. We reused the hinges here. There was nothing wrong with them. Just attached our own metal frames. I attached some timber to the metal frames, which made it a lot easier to install the pickets. So we'll come on through, but it's completely transformed the front of the house. It's also now lockable and secure. And with the addition of that side fence that we built, the backyard is completely secure and no one can wander from the front to the back. Now, one of the remaining items out here is this balcony and pergola. When we got here, the pergola was falling down and the old laser light was completely ruined and yellowed and just made the place feel really dark. So we've replaced all the timbers and we've replaced the roofing with laser light. We've also extended the laser light the full length of the entry. The entry is brighter. The windows that face this entry, those rooms with those windows are a lot brighter. So it has been another amazing transformation here, replacing the pergola, putting on some clear laser light. And the other thing that we've done as well, which has been happening since I finished up here, the tiles have been redone at the front. So the street appeal, the whole front of the house is just so much nicer than when we got here. And yeah, it's really good to see how much it's transformed and something to be proud of. So that's almost it. The last thing was the front of the house. The eaves had fallen down. The mains power cables were pulling the fascia away from the house. The gutters were completely ruined. So with all of that replaced and painted, it actually invites you inside now. It's much brighter inside and out. The last thing we did as well, continuing on from the side yard, is replacing just the dirt and overgrowth with a nice gravel path, which takes you to the trapdoor, a little bit of a storage spot, and the gas meter. So at least you're not bush bashing and needing a machete to get to the gas meter to read the meter. So that's pretty much it for the inside and outside tour. We'll show you some beauty shots now, show you some drone shots, and leave you with that. that's pretty much it for this episode. Now I do want to say, if you're interested in videos like this, there's plenty more on my channel. There's plenty of tutorials as well, which dive deep into giving you information on how we do things, specifically things like repairing the floors, skirting and plastering, so feel free to check those out. Now if you have enjoyed the build series side of things, there are some more build series on the channel where we go episode by episode fixing similar houses that have been either abandoned or not maintained for a long time. So feel free to check those out, subscribe to the channel, and while you're there, leave a comment. Let us know if you've enjoyed this series. Let us know if you've noticed the increased video production, especially with some of the editing that I've been getting help with. Things like microphones, stabilized footage. I'm really trying to improve the video production, so if you've enjoyed that, let me know. And with that said, all I want to do is say thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.